Hi everybody, my name's Dawn and this is my first YouTube video and I'm fairly new to Cricut. I haven't had this machine even a month yet and it's my first machine. But I got a lot of requests to make a video tutorial on how to make the Mother's Day card I made for my mom. Now I'm not putting a whole Mother's Day message because that takes a long time and the video would be really long. But I've decided to put hello. And what I do when I'm going to make a message is I pull up my Braille alphabet. You can Google anywhere. Braille runs in a line of 3 rows down by 2 columns. So you have 6 dots maximum. And the arrangement of the dots is how the blind read their Braille. What I do first is I figure out the message I want to make and I put it out on paper. That way, when I'm trying to put it in my design space, I'm not flipping back and forth between the website and design space. I just have this right sitting at the bottom of my computer where it's nice and simple to see. I'm going to turn to my computer now. What you do here is you pick shapes and you pick circle. You're going to want to make it a lot smaller than it brings up. It comes up to 0.181 is what you bring it down to, because that fits perfectly in this little grid box. And it's really small, but it works well. If you notice on your mats, it's divided into 12 boxes. I don't use the first row, I leave that blank. And I don't use the top row because you use 3 and 3. Then you skip a line and put the next letter. That way you've got the spacing for the Braille and they know that that letter ends and the next one starts. So what I've put here is hello. I've written it out on my paper so it's nice and easy to see. I put it in here with the circles. You just make one circle, duplicate it a bunch of times. You can always erase the extras. You arrange it. When you put your H, you leave a space, the last row there, and then you start your E, and then the last row and an L, and on through. I group each letter individually, and then I group them together and weld them together. That way, nothing gets bumped, nothing gets moved. For this, as you see right now, they're in the cut mode. They're solid black. It makes it easier to line them up if you line them up in the cut mode, because it is so much easier to see than in the score mode. Let's weld these real quick. Once you've got them all welded and your whole message on, you change this cut up here to score. See how it changes it so you just got a little line? It's a lot harder to set up your letter and your word when they're like that. So I just go ahead and leave them in the cut until I'm ready. Then I come over and I click make it like we would with any project. I personally use the blue mat because it's light grip and it won't mess up your cardstock and mess up your Braille. It won't hold too tightly. When you have it here, you have to mirror it. That's very important because it's going to make the dots, and when you flip it over to put in your cards, you want it to be spelled in the correct order. Then you hit continue. Once it's connected and it wants you to load the tool, it will ask you to load your scoring wheel, but we're not going to use the scoring wheel. We're going to use the scoring stylus because it makes the perfect circle. Once my maker connects, I'll show you. I pick my medium cardstock, which is what I'm using, and it says load single scoring wheel and clamp B. You go above that to edit tools and hit scoring stylus and apply. Then it'll tell you to load your stylus in your machine into clamp A. And then it wants you to load your mat. Hit your load mat button, let it go and do its thing. Check and make sure you got the right devices in there. Always double check, make sure you got your mirror on. And then hit your go. I chose hello instead of the whole message I put for my mom. That way it's simple and quick. I'll move the computer out of the way so you can see this. What I do since it makes a mark, but it doesn't make the indent of a braille dot, is I got me just a little foam placemat from the Dollar Tree. Easy peasy. And that's what I'm going to use to accentuate my dots after it prints out. That way it's easier for the blind to read. So we're going to unload this here. And I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like little circles in there. I don't think you can see that. Let me turn on my other light and see if we can get it a little bit brighter. It makes it like little circles. You can see the indent. So, what works for that is, it's enough that you know where you're going to put your stylus. You take it off of the mat, you get your stylus out of your machine, and you just accentuate the holes. Wherever the hole is, you put your stylus down with this mat underneath it so you're protecting it, and wiggle it just a little bit. Then it makes it into the braille. It don't take near as long as you would think. It's easy to do once you get the hang of it. And my mom, I gave it to her early since I was going to make this video, and I wanted to make sure everything was right before I made a video and didn't have it correct. I wouldn't want somebody try it and it not be correct. Now, I've accented all my letters, and when you pick it up like this, you can see how it's like it's raised up, but it's not pierced through. Then you just put it on, and because you mirrored it, it's in the correct order. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you are able to include people in your life that are visually impaired with these crafts. I know my mom loves it, so I'm sure anybody else would. And if you have any questions, feel free to add me on Messenger, on Facebook. I'll gladly answer any questions I can. And have fun trying something new, because if we don't try and we don't make mistakes, we don't learn nothing. So if you like this video, go ahead and put a thumbs up. We'll see what we can do here. And if I come up with anything else, I'll make new videos. Thanks for being patient with me on the new one. Bye.